instead. I am dehydrating apples today. This is my very last crate. It's about 27 pounds worth of apples from my tree. And I've got these two dehydrators here that I'm going to start with. And you can see inside, it's got quite a few trays. I don't think, so I have trays that go in between here as well, but the apples are probably going to be too high to let air flow through. But we'll see. If the apple slices are thin enough, and I think I can get away with it, I'll put the extra layers in here. So first things first, we're going to take these over to the sink and give them a good scrub. I like to use this scrubby. It helps to protect my hands, and it just makes super quick work of getting the dirt off of the apples. Yep, that's all there is to it. Hey, we're back. All right, we've got clean apples here. We have a KitchenAid, and we have the spiralizer peeler attachment. And over here we have a pot of water. It's a pot because I don't have any more big bowls. I've got my two biggest bowls sitting out here already. So the pot is not for cooking, it's just for putting the apples once they get peeled. We're gonna throw some lemon juice into the water. So this is about half full of water. And I'm gonna put just a couple tablespoons in. The lemon juice will help prevent the apples from browning as much. Show you how to use a spiralizer. There's your clean apple. There's this pokey attachment right here, and you're gonna, the bottom of the apple, you're just gonna stick it right in there nice and firm like that. And then this here moves, and you're gonna wanna set it right against the apple, just like so, and then turn it on. That was super cool, right? So this is why I'm not doing it by hand. And then you pull it off and throw it in the lemon water. All of these scraps later will go to the chickens. They'll be super happy to have them. So you do not have to actually peel your apples to dehydrate them, but my family prefers them without the peels. We're gonna go ahead and get these all done, and I'll show you the next step after that. All right, we have our apples that have been peeled, and they need a little bit more work. You can decide at this point whether or not you want slices or rings, and I'm just going to go ahead and do slices because that's what we like. So get out your handy dandy knife, and you're going to want to just head and tail your apples, and then there might be a little bit of extra peel that needs to come off, so you can grab that at this time. And then quarter your apple. If you have an apple core, that would be a good thing to use right now. I don't, so I'll just be using my paring knife. And we'll just take the center out of each one, and the scraps go into the chicken container, and then just slice them like so. The thicker you slice them, the longer it will take for them to dry. This is about the size I normally do them, but you can do them as thin or as thick as you want. So a note on like paper thin, if you do them paper thin, they're gonna stick to your trays on your dehydrator, and you're gonna be really frustrated and probably never wanna dehydrate again. So I know I said you could do them as thin as you want, but don't do them paper thin, because I don't want you to be discouraged. And then these slices will go, again, similar to this, they're gonna go into a bowl of water that has a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice in it. And that's where these will stay until we're ready to line the dehydrator trays. All right, we got that whole entire crate completely washed, peeled, sliced, soaked in lemon juice. The other dehydrator that we were using, the little gray one, that one is completely full, and we've moved on to the Excalibur. Now, I was mentioning to you before that there are extra slots that go in between that we can use as long as whatever we're dehydrating isn't too tall, and it does look like a layer is going to fit in here, but I don't think we're going to need all 4 of the other shelves. I think just this one will do. And so just pop your apples on and try not to let them touch too much. If they're touching a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. You just want really good airflow through here. Alright, so that's what it looks like with the additional tray in, and there's one for each slot here. Okay, now that the dehydrators are full, we'll want to put the lids on them, plug them in, and turn them on to 145 degrees. Depending on the type of dehydrator you have and how thick your apple slices are, the time will be between 8 and 24 hours. My slices are a little on the thick side, and I can pretty much guarantee you it's going to take more than 8 hours. It's afternoon here right now. I'm going to get these plugged in, and I will check them in the morning. So it will definitely be probably 18 hours before I check these again. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hi everybody, the apple chips are done. I checked them at 18 hours and they were still a little spongy, and I personally don't like them spongy. So I went and ran some errands and I forgot about them, so they dehydrated for another night. And now they're chippy. They're perfect. They're like, they snap, which is great. And all we have to do now is pull our hair back, because we do not want long hairs in our food. Nope, that's gross. So I'm gonna pull my hair back, and then I'm going to show you how to vacuum seal your apple chips. Be right back. We've got the hairs tied back, and it's time to go ahead and store your apple chips, and however you want to. I'm going to use the vacuum sealer, assuming that it's not going to poke holes. I am a little bit concerned that because they're so dry, which I mean it's great, but I'm slightly concerned that they might poke holes in the plastic. So we're going to see what happens. If it pokes holes in the plastic, I'll just put them in Ziploc. You want to put the date that you processed your food on and what it is. So, there we go. I've got my date on there. And there's several different types of food savers out there. This is an older model here, and it's a lot less streamlined than some of the other ones. Pretty bulky. And as far as how many apple chips to put in your bag, I do mine. My family, I know how much they'll eat in one sitting or 1 week, so I don't put more than what they can munch on throughout the week into one bag. So basically the whole tray is about that much. And if you remember, the tray was full before, and now it looks like I hardly put anything in there. So here's a good example of how much they shrink up. And I think here is a good example of why you don't want to make them too thin. When I try to get this off of my tray, it won't come off. And it's going to be a pain in the rear end to wash this tray. Alright, into the food saver it goes, and it seals it automatically once the air has been removed. It's very convenient, really. And the plastic's pretty strong, and so far it does appear it hasn't poked through the plastic, but we'll set this aside and we'll find out right quick if it pokes holes in it because it won't be sucked in like this anymore. It'll just look like it's in a regular bag. I'm gonna finish up the rest of these and then I'll be back. We got 10 bags of apples from those 2 dehydrators. I'm pretty happy with that, so that's about 10 weeks worth of snacks for my family. As I suspected might happen, 2 of the 10 bags lost their, you can see the difference between one that's vacuum packed, this one, and one that isn't anymore. So I know they're pokey. I could, you know, cut this bag open and put it in another one, but I'm thinking that I'll just save the bags. They are, you know, I mean, they are an expense. I'm not gonna say they're like super duper expensive, but why waste them if you know that they're probably not gonna work? Oh, here's a third one. And these, you know, I suspect that they might all lose it. And so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to put them in, you know, just like several of them in a Ziploc bag. That way my family members can still just grab one and, you know, they're not gonna fall out of the bag. They're just not airtight anymore. And, you know, these will reconstitute if you get them wet. And so if you just leave them out in the open, they will get, you know, they'll get spongy like. So it is important that you seal them in some kind of a container, whether it be a plastic bag or a Tupperware container of some kind would probably work too. So I'm just gonna stick them in here like that and squeeze the air out. You could get a straw and suck it out, I guess, if you wanted to, but I don't have any straws. Thank you for watching my video, and let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I hope you have a great day.